At the Rovers, Abby Webster pretends on Kevin's behalf, telling everyone he's received a clean bill of health. But as the crowd celebrates the good news, she slips away for a secret rendezvous with Carl at a nearby hotel. Elsewhere, Kevin opens up to Debbie, admitting he's afraid he's losing Abby. Back at the hotel, Abby spots a text from someone named Fiona on Carl's phone and is left stunned when Carl admits he's been carrying out illegal motifs and shady business deals, all run out of Kevin's garage. How will she respond? Later, Abby returns to find Kevin and Jack brimming with excitement, revealing that Debbie has surprised them with a holiday to Mallorca. But will Abby be willing to join them? When Abby confronts Kevin about Carl's dodgy MOT scheme, she's devastated to discover that he was already in on it. Later, Debbie finds Abby sitting on Maxine's bench and pleads with her to seriously consider her marriage, insisting no one could love her more than Kevin does. Abby then heads to the hotel to question Carl about why he kept Kevin's knowledge of the scam a secret. Carl drops a bombshell. Kevin agreed not to turn him in as long as he didn't reveal that Kevin was faking his cancer recovery. Abby is livid, realizing Kevin is still deceiving her. Has his dishonesty driven her straight back into Carl's arms? Meanwhile, after saving cash by picking up bargain suits for Dev and Adi, Bernie opts for a simple hen party at the bistro. But the celebration is disrupted when news breaks that the lads have booked a pole dancer over at the Rovers. Outraged, Bernie rushes over and bursts in to find the stags cheering wildly at the performer. One by one, the hens trickle out of the bistro in search of Bernie. Eventually, Auntie Ronnie makes her way into the Rovers, but how will she respond to the unexpected scene that greets her? While helping Carla and Lisa clear out the flat, Ryan talks about his current housing setup and his strange new roommate. Carla shows sympathy, and Lisa appears lost in thought. Later on, Ryan shows up with his backpack in tow, and Carla is moved when Lisa reveals she invited him to live with them. Over a curry, Kit gets to know Brody better and is saddened by the tough childhood his son endured. Wanting to support him, Kit skips Dev's stag night and instead takes Brody to the football game. Elsewhere, Sally and Tim are stunned to notice old bruises on Joanie's arm and feel compelled to report their concerns to social services. A thrilled Todd shares with Theo that the flat above the corner shop is available to rent. George later confesses to Todd that he'll miss him once he moves out. Hoping to lift his spirits, Todd suggests they attend Dev's stag night, though Theo masks his annoyance. At the party, Todd takes a playful spin on the pole, prompting a furious Theo to fake a headache and demand they leave. Coronation Street wedding turns tragic as bride collapses and shocking crime comes to light. Coronation Street spoilers reveal a dramatic wedding twist next week on the ITV soap as one bride suffers a medical crisis and a sinister crime comes to light. There are intense scenes ahead, including a hospital emergency, emotional fallout, and the threat of an arrest. As Dev Alahan and Bernie Winter gear up to say, "I do," their big day takes a shocking turn. Bernie ends up in a dire condition. Will she recover, and can she still make it to the altar? Elsewhere, things are looking up for Carla Connor and Lisa Swain, with a sweet gesture bringing smiles. Meanwhile, a forbidden affair carries on in secret. But for how long? Tensions rise between Theo Silverton and Todd Grimshaw, with trouble brewing that leads to a possible police investigation and shocking accusations of a violent crime. In the midst of it all, a potential new romance is hinted at as two unexpected residents grow closer. One character's secret may finally come to light while a troubled teen is battling personal demons, and there's a deeply unsettling discovery involving a child. Let's start with the wedding chaos. As Dev enjoys his stag night and Bernie celebrates her hen party, things spiral quickly. Bernie is livid after hearing what went on at Dev's do. On the big day itself, disaster after disaster unfolds. With her grandchildren suddenly unwell, Bernie is horrified to realize she's forgotten her lucky locket containing a photo of her late son, Paul Foreman. Racing home to fetch it, Bernie unwittingly walks in on a burglary. Though she appears unhurt, she hurries back to the ceremony where Debbie Webster has been keeping spirits high in her absence. Debbie even bursts into song for Ronnie Bailey and surprises him with a marriage proposal, cheered on by the guests. Meanwhile, Bernie is walked down the aisle by her son, Kit Green, and just as she and Dev prepare to exchange vows, tragedy strikes. In a terrifying moment, Bernie begins gasping for air and collapses in front of a horrified Dev. Asha Alahan, who's a paramedic, rushes to her stepmother's side as panic spreads. Paramedics are called and Asha urges the family to follow to the hospital. But will Bernie make it in time? Elsewhere, Kit continues trying to bond with his son Brody, who's still acting out. Kit is heartbroken to learn more about Brody's difficult upbringing with Mick and Lou and decides to skip Dev's party to take Brody to a football match instead. But trouble is never far. Sally and Tim Metcalf are shocked to spot old bruises on Joanie, Brody's younger sister. They feel they have no choice but to alert social services. What's really going on in that household? Brody later lashes out at Kit's new partner, Sarah Platt, but will his anger push his father further away? Meanwhile, there are heartwarming moments for Carla and Lisa as they settle into their new home. Ryan Connor helps them pack and describes his odd living situation, which leaves Carla and Lisa sympathetic. Later, Ryan shows up with all his belongings, and Carla is confused until Lisa reveals she's invited him to move in with them. Carla is deeply moved by Lisa's kindness, especially given how close she and Ryan are. Ryan officially becomes part of the household again, joining Carla, Lisa, and Betsy Swain. The couple share a heartfelt moment, with Carla tearfully thanking Lisa. The two hold hands, grateful for a fresh start after a rocky road. Things aren't so rosy for Adi Alahan, who's found drinking alone in Victoria Gardens. He ignores calls from Lauren Bolton, who eventually tracks him down and finds him clearly distressed. Adi decides it's time to open up about what really happened at the party. When Dev and Bernie return home, they're stunned as Adi prepares to confess to them too. Could this spell the end for Adi's time on the street? The drama doesn't stop there. Carl Webster and Abby Franklin's affair is still in full swing, with Abby unable to forgive Kevin for lying about his cancer diagnosis. She heads to the hotel to be with Carl, her brother-in-law, while Kevin grows increasingly aware that he's losing her. Things take a darker turn when Abby sees a text from Dodgy Fiona on Carl's phone, prompting Carl to admit he's been running illegal MOTs and shady schemes out of Kevin's garage. Back home, Debbie surprises the family by booking a trip to Mallorca, but when Abby tells Kevin about Carl's scam, she's stunned to learn he already knew. Debbie urges Abby to think carefully before throwing her marriage away, insisting Kevin still loves her deeply. However, after confronting Carl, Abby is rocked to discover that Kevin not only covered for Carl, but also hid the truth about his health. With Kevin's lies stacking up, will Abby choose Carl instead? As the week continues, their secret meetings persist, but it seems only a matter of time before the affair is exposed. Elsewhere, Tracy Barlow begins to raise eyebrows, and it seems Jenny Connor may have her sights set on George Shuttleworth, who's looking for love following his breakup with Eileen Grimshaw. Back with Theo and Todd, the couple are considering moving in together, but Theo is still simmering over Todd's antics at the stag do. When Todd later spends time with Summer Spellman, Theo refuses to join them. Things take a serious turn when a drunken moment with Adi ends in a fall that leaves Adi injured and Theo blamed for it. The police soon arrive, revealing a complaint has been made about an incident at the precinct. As Billy Mayhew watches, Theo is taken in for questioning. But when it's mentioned that Theo has a past linked to a violent crime, Todd starts to worry and begins digging for the truth. What will he uncover? Coronation Street continues every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is available to stream on ITVX.